What's up, guys? It's Migs with Market Open. I wanted to talk a little bit about something that happened today. Today, one of my buddies actually called me up while they were in the middle of a trade, just to kind of, I guess, keep me updated, tell me that they went short on Riot, and to pay attention to it. So initially, he had called me. I knew that Riot had gotten some negative news, and I remember actually seeing this in the trading room, but I wasn't really quite sure what the news behind it was. I mean, it's the news on it are kind of irrelevant. It's just obviously it's negative since people are selling it off, and I kind of didn't really watch it for the rest of the day. But that's besides the point. So he told me that he went short on Riot somewhere below 1692, or 1592 was actually his fill, and I believe right around here, down here is when we were actually ended up getting on the phone. Um, I think he was shooting for low a day down here at 1520 or so was his initial target. So as you can see, it actually didn't make it down to low a day. It was very close, but it wasn't. And right around here, he started panicking a little bit. I wouldn't really say panicking, but he was starting to have a little bit of concern. So he's like, "Oh man, what should I do?" I was like, "Okay, well, if it starts popping up over 16, it obviously popped over the 9 and it held and it closed above the 9, so that's a problem. Now, if it goes up and over 16, he had a couple thousand shares of this thing. So every tick that moved was 20, 30 bucks. So now, remember his fill was at 1592, so he was up here, and now it was coming right up to 16, and I said, well, I wouldn't really get too worried unless it climbs up over 16. So it kept hitting 1599, 1590, 1599. It was just kind of kept going back and forth for a little bit, and I told him that if unless it pops up and over 16, to not worry about either taking away and kind of lightening the load of shares that he has, or to possibly eliminate his position, because this thing was overextended, and it actually never pulled back to VWAP. So a lot of the times it'll do a relieve move, so it'll come down and then it'll pull back to VWAP, get rejected, and then keep coming back down. So it was a little bit overextended, but I told him that if it goes up over the whole number, then you might want to start, taking some of the shares away. So what 16 for this thing is, it is a psychological barrier for it. It is resistance for the stock. It's just a number that people use for just psychological reasons. So like, let's just say that you want to buy something. A lot of the times, somebody will tell you the price or give you an average of a price. Usually that number is an even number. So resistance, you can always find resistance, psychological or mental resistance, at whole numbers and half numbers. So 16, 1650, 17, 1750, especially with medium to large cap stocks. With some of the smaller caps, you can find resistance in 25-cent increments. But with some of this higher priced stocks, you can actually expect support and resistance at whole numbers. So that's why I told him to use 16 as basically a backstop. So if it pops over, then start lighting up your load. If not, then just kind of let it work itself out. He listened. Good thing that he did. And the stock actually got rejected at 16. There were just too many people trying to sell right at 16, or 15.99, I believe it was. And it actually ended up coming back down, and he took his profit down at, I believe, somewhere around 1550 or 1560. He didn't hit low a day, but he did actually end up getting some of his profit. So he made a couple $100 on this for sure. And as you can see, it actually ended up climbing higher. So he did end up making the right move. Now, the whole point of this is just to remember that sometimes when it does climb over and it does get rejected at a whole number or a half number, that is because of a reason. There's a lot of sellers there, and it's just because of a psychological state of mind that they're in. Like, okay, if it hops over 16, or I want to sell everything right at 16 if it comes up to it. It's just a nice round even number that everybody likes to either take profit or sell something or buy it. So like if it climbed up over 16, I'm sure that there were probably going to be a lot of buyers there sitting at 1601. There are a lot of other psychological numbers like $1, $5, $10, $20, $50, $100, and $1,000. Those are really big psychological barriers for stocks, and so are just the in-between whole numbers. So you can always expect buyers and sellers there. Yeah, so I just wanted to give you that quick little lesson. Also, if you guys could please do me a favor, help me help you guys. These videos are not reaching as many people as I would like for them, and I'm thinking that they're just not getting enough interaction. So if you guys could comment below where you guys are watching this video from, what country you guys are in, because I know I have a lot of followers, especially in the Facebook group, from all over the world. So if you guys could just comment below what country you guys are watching this video, I would really appreciate it, as well as give it a thumbs up. Like I always say, if you guys do have any questions, also make sure to leave it down in the comment section below, and then I will also leave the link to our Facebook group where I post up my watch list every single morning. And yeah, I'll see you guys around.